Hi, wow, what a thrill. I'm here with Dr. Jav, the cryptocurrency guru, the man with his finger on the pulse. It's been a little while since we spoke, but I'm always honored, and this is honestly, seriously, such a privilege to be talking to you. I think your output is prolific, your content is consistently quality, and with the madness that is going on in the crypto markets right now, we had a massive correction yesterday, so literally yesterday.
We did, yes we did.
And I wanted to ask you, Dr. Jav, how does one, as you apparently do, consistently get positive returns in a volatile market that seems to be heading downwards more than upwards?
Brilliant, Don. And before I answer your question, thank you for the introduction. It's always a pleasure to be with you, and you make me laugh, which is good. And let me answer your question now. So, as you correctly stated, yesterday what happened was that if I just talk about Bitcoin as an example, obviously there's 1,600 plus altcoins we could be talking about, but generally if I base my arguments around Bitcoin, you can then relate to it. So 3 days ago, Bitcoin was about $6,500. So one Bitcoin would have costed you $6,500. If you were to buy one Bitcoin today at this very minute, it would cost you $4,500. So effectively the price of Bitcoin has shot down or fallen rapidly by around $2,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is that people are still making profit from their investments in Bitcoin and other altcoins.
I mean, sorry to interrupt, but I've heard that, not understood it, that people make money, often more money on a falling market than a rising market. How's that possible?
It's very simple. And you can apply this to anything in business that you like. Now, I've personally been in business for about 3 decades. I've had several businesses, and in every single one of these businesses, it's generally been a very similar principle, and that is you buy low and sell high. If you were to, just to give you an example, just say you sold Coke for a living, and you had a grocery, a Coke shop.
We're talking about Coca-Cola, by the way.
I'm talking about the drink, not the Coke that you tend to refer to quite often, Don. So you would buy your can of Coke for 30p and sell it for 70p. It's the same principle that applies to most things. So in the case of Bitcoin, we buy low and sell high. So it doesn't really make a difference what the market does. Now, in the case of cryptocurrency, what you'll find is that there's many fluctuations in the market. So Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin goes up and down, up and down, up and down, many times in one day. In fact, several times in an hour. And once you know how to watch the market, you can kind of like predict when the price is going to go up or it's going to come down, and then you'll know whether to buy or to sell.
Wow, you've stopped there because it's so simple. But I noticed there's a candle thing there, if you know. That's always a tricky one. So if I don't know, how do I play the game?
Yeah, sure. I think what you need to understand is that a lot of people got into cryptocurrency, into Bitcoin mining, and also into Bitcoin trading because they wanted to make profit or make money. It doesn't really matter. They didn't really want to understand the process, but all they needed to do was put an amount in and get a higher amount out, the profit. Yeah. So it goes down to any business opportunity. You don't really need to know the nuts and bolts of how it's done. So what I've devised is black box trading.
Hold on, whoa. Say that one more slowly, please.
Yeah.
You've devised?
Something called black box trading.
Okay.
And the reason I call it black box is something I'm going to go over now on this piece of paper. So I'm going to try and turn it around.
There you go. I'm now using the technology so that you can see Dr. Jav in action.
Normally I'd have a whiteboard, but because of where we are today, we couldn't get access to a whiteboard, so I've gone for the white paper.
Yeah.
So a black box is basically a box, and I'm going to call it black box by writing black box inside the box. And by that I mean you don't actually know what's in the box. So when I call something a black box, it means I don't know what's inside that box.
Got it.
A black box has an input and an output.
Is this the same black box that they find in airplanes when they crash?
Well, you could say that. Do you actually know what's in that black box? You probably don't. Another analogy which I'd like to use is that of a car, and I excuse my drawing. I didn't do so well at art in school, but this is my car. And what you'll find is that 90%, in fact 99% of people know to put petrol, diesel or an electric charge as the input in a car, and the output would be for the car to drive. But they don't actually know what happens inside the car.
Can I be one of those people?
You can be one of those people, as am I. But in your case, Don, I think the driving's an issue for you as well, but let's not go into that. So, yeah, I use that analogy for people to try and understand how we work in the crypto market.
Brilliant.
Now, in the case of trading, you can continue to pan onto that.
Okay, yeah.
In the case of trading, you don't really need to know what's inside the black box. Now, on average, our trades return between 8 and 15% a month. So whatever you put in as an input, the output is 8 to 15% more every single month. So that's your profit. Now, if you were a newbie crypto trader, would you be able to get a 15% profit every single month in the first month?
No way.
Now, I've done a bit of research in the marketplace.
Sorry to cut that. You might do 1 month, but consistently month after month?
Yeah. What you'd find is that it's very unlikely for it to be the first month. Now, I've done a lot of research in the marketplace, and what I've found is that there are a lot of people, a lot of professionals selling courses teaching you how to trade. Now, these courses tend to run from £3,000 to £5,000. And if you look at the attendees of these courses, what you'll find is that 1% of those attendees will actually go out and trade successfully.
1%?
1%. So if 100 people attend this course, which costs £3,000 to £5,000, one of those people will be out there successfully trading and earning and living from trading. So this model that I've got here allows the newbie investor, call it what you like, opportunist, person interested in crypto trading, to actually derive a profit from day one. Now, inside this black box, we have 17 people. So in our model, we have 17 people in our black box, and these people include traders, computer programmers, and mathematicians, some of the top mathematicians in the world. So we have 17 people that develop the algorithms and the trading bots for us. And you, as a single person, would not be able to match the performance that we're getting from these people. Does that make sense?
That makes amazing sense. So, if we're getting that consistent return, presumably we have to put an investment in.
Yes.
And we've spoken about this, and I'm talking about, because of the volatility of the market, a lot of people are cautious.
Yes.
About putting stuff inside this black box when they know so little about it.
Yeah. Again, you don't really need to know what's inside the black box. All you can do is look at how other professionals are doing it and performing themselves. If I talk about property investment for a few minutes, what you'll find is that a newbie property investor is very unlikely to make profit, or a good profit, on their first deal. They'll have to do it 2 or 3 times and get into a pattern and copy their successes to achieve something that's profitable. The same applies here. If you're
so sorry to cut you, Jab, but there's something you've said to me several times, is that those who stick with anything really over the long term. So it's again your consistent message. I've known you for some time now. You've consistently said, and you've demonstrated, you've been in the game, you've stayed in the game, and those who stay in the game develop the skills and the returns. So it's not a quick hit.
I think you've sort of hit the nail on the head there. It's all about being persistent and consistent. So what you'll find, again, this is a similar model that I've noticed many times, is those that use a system that works and use it persistently and consistently, if I can say it, that will actually achieve in what they want to do. And by having a model here ready for you, the only thing you, as a new investor, would need to do is put an initial amount in, and you will get the output, which is on average 8 to 15% a month. Now, I want to say a bit more about that. So again, I'm talking about just Bitcoin here, but you can apply this to any other altcoin too. So for example, if you put 1 Bitcoin in here today, it would cost you $4,500 at today's price. And it's going to be, so if I just use 10% as an easy number, so at the end of the month, you'll get about $450 back as pure profit.
Yeah.
If you were to compound that, which means put the output back into the input again, so you can have a loop. I'm going to try and do this backwards. So your profit would go back into the input again. What you'll find is that over the next few months, your profit is not 8 to 15%, but it's closer to 100%.
Wow.
And we've been doing this consistently and persistently for over a year now, and we have the results to prove it. Now, again, if I look at the price of Bitcoin, at the moment, the price of Bitcoin is $4,500. So if you were to go out to the marketplace and buy one Bitcoin, it would cost you
$4,500.
when the price goes up to $6,000, it would cost you
$6,500.
to buy one Bitcoin. Because the price at the moment is very, very low, the entry to market is
Low.
which means that many people can invest in one Bitcoin to trade on that one Bitcoin. If you go back to December 2017, the price of Bitcoin rose to about $20,000. So if you were to have started in December 2017, it would have cost you $20,000 to start investing in this business. At the moment, the price of Bitcoin is $4,500. I've said this many, many times. In 3 months, that price could be $7,000 to $10,000. Again, I'm looking at what other experts have been saying. In 12 months, we could hit $20,000 to $35,000. Again, based on what experts have done and their analyses. So, if you were to invest one Bitcoin today at $4,500, your Bitcoin could be worth anywhere between, say, $15,000 to $30,000 in a year from today.
So it's basically a double whammy.
It's more than that. It's actually a triple plus whammy, because
Wow.
that's just based on a non-compounding theory. If you were to compound, your one Bitcoin could be 3 to 4 Bitcoins in a year from today without any additional funds going in. That's
Right.
just based purely
Well,
on compounding.
I know we've got a lot of videos and got a lot of stuff doing. I can see you getting excited, and I'm sure the
Yeah.
viewers are excited as well. But let's wrap up now. But what I'm going to ask you the tough question in 3 sentences. Just summarize the concept and the benefits of black box trading.
Yeah, sure. So black box trading is, okay, I'll try and bring it down to 3
It's a
sentences.
It's a tough one, but do it. Go for it.
Okay. You invest in a Bitcoin, a fraction of a Bitcoin, or several Bitcoins.
Okay.
You apply it to the crypto trading black box model.
Got it.
And the third thing is you receive the profits, which you can utilize. You can exchange those for fiat currency, your pounds, dollars. You can reinvest them back into the model and compound, or you can go out and buy something like a Tesla with your profit. So there's an input, there's the black box, and there's the output, which is the profit. And those are the 3 things that you need to be looking at.
And number 4 is you can always reinvest that and get the beauty. What that I think it was Einstein said is the 8th wonder of the world, which is
Compounding.
Thank you so much, Jav. It's always wonderful to talk to you, and I'm very excited about this. And black box trading. Now, if people want to get more than 15 minutes of your time and your knowledge, where would they go to contact you?
Yeah, you can do a Google search on my name. There's about 30,000 plus references to myself, my products and services. You can find me on social media. At the moment, I've got about 20 to 30,000 followers on social media. And my website as well, which is javidkiani.com, JAVAID, Kiani, KIYANI.com. And that will link back to my social media profiles as well, and you can find me there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I look forward to our next installment of the Dr. Jav Crypto Show.
Thank you, Dawn. It's always a pleasure to speak to you, and I hope to see you again soon.
You will.
Brilliant.
Take care.
Thank you.